Alright, so here we have a 2008 6-lug axle for the passenger side of a 2003. They will fit, they are the same. I was going to change this video into changing this axle bearing, but I actually already did that. All I'm going to say is it's a bitch, and I should have really posted an easy way of doing it, but I didn't get to it. Anyway, I pulled the seal out, and I actually used this seal to put this bearing back in, because it is that thick, and that's how thick it needs to be in there. That's how far. But my next part of this video is, if you buy an axle, they do not come with the lug studs for the wheel. So you will have to pull the lug studs out of the other axle to put in the new one. Which I think is okay, because then you don't have to buy them. You just knock them out of the old one, put them in the new one. So up here, up front, I put it in a vise. If you don't have a vise, just hold it with your foot on the ground. Now what you do to get these out, as easy as possible, do not grease these threads. Do not grease where they are. Do not do any of that. You screw one of the lug nuts on until it is completely flush with the stud. Then you take a nice son-bitch and hammer and you just smash the cocksucker once, right in the center. It will pop and it will come right out. And I know everybody loves when people say they come right out, but right there you just witnessed it. Don't grease it, don't grease the threads, don't do anything. Just put this on like I'm telling you. That's even with Loctite on it and it still popped. We'll do another one. Put it on. Make sure it is 100% even with the end. And then you just take this sumbitch and smack it one time. There it is. This is an 03 axle. I'll come back and I'll show you how to put it on an 08 axle. It'll be on the same video. I'm just going to pause it. Alright, so now we're back. I took all the studs out. And all the studs are out of this one because that's what the assholes do at the place. Anyway, this is how a good axle should look. It should be smooth from here to here, tapered, and then a normal size axle. So you smash this bastard into the vise. That should be pretty mint. Now, the 2003 lug studs have 70 threads and 36 splines. Makes sense if you don't think about it. Now these have splines on the inside. So you want to line the bastard up as close as you can. You'll feel it. That looks pretty mint. And the concept of it is you put them in the same fucking way you took them out. You smash it once with a hammer right here. Ooh, that one sparked and didn't go in. Okay, so you line it up a little better. And then you send it. Now that looks pretty fucking mint after you smash the hell out of it. As long as it is flush with the back of the axle plate there, it'll be pretty mint. And to solve any gap that still may occur, all you do is you just run this down with an air gun. And actually it would probably be easier if there was not a tapered section. But don't worry about a little bit of a spacing in here, like maybe paper thin or whatever. That's pretty tight. But when you put your wheel on and you put your lugs back on, when you air gun it, the air gun pressure will take that gap away from the back of the stud. So it's a matter of torque fit, and I'm just going to continue to do that. And that's how you put an axle together and put the studs in the axle from one to another. So I'm going to put them studs back in. And then I'm going to put the seal in front of the bearing over there in the axle tube. So I'm going to pause this for a second again until I put all the studs in. And then I'll put a preview up on how to put the axle back in the truck. Alright, so we got our studs in our axle. Now I'm going to go over here to my seal pile. And I'm just going to grab this one because I believe that's the one that should be in there. That's for the front yoke for the rear. And I already put those 4 other ones in, 2 bearings and 3 seals. That's probably the box for it up there, but who the fuck cares? Alright, so moving on. Now we light a smoke. Alright, now, this is fairly simple actually. One of the easiest ones ever. Now, there's a lot of times you'll need a rubber hammer, and there's a couple of other times that you'll need a metal hammer, but we're going to use both just for the hell of it. Now, you just kind of take that and set it in there. That's all I did for right now. I just set it there. Then you take your metal one, and you just give it a tappy, tappy, tappy until it falls back out. Then you'll know which way it's got to fit. So you want to start at the top, just like this. Right like that. Now I got lucky knowing it'd be at the top first. I don't know why. But then you take your rubber one and start smacking.